Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for Gemini season. So welcome back everyone. My name is Debbie. This is the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution, and we are doing our reading for Gemini season. Today we are doing Sagittarius, so a fellow mutable sign, right? Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces are all mutable signs. Sagittarius, Gemini is your balancing energy. It's direct opposite of your sign on the zodiacal wheel. So I have my notes always, right? So let's get to your monthly horoscope, and then we'll pull your tarot cards. We have 5 decks. We have, just to show you, the wild unknown archetypes. We have the Moonology deck, we have tarot, we have animal spirits, and we have angels. So a slightly longer reading than normal today, right? So Sagittarius, how are you? And anyway, so let's get to it. So Sagittarius, your theme for Gemini season, right? This is about relationships, collaborations, and shifting your vision. Now, Virgo was about their purpose. So yours is about your vision. So we'll see how they play off, if they play off of one another. So Sagittarius, for you, Gemini brings change for your long-term visions and gives you a social rebranding. So those of you who have a social presence or social media presence, if you have a website, chances are the whole thing is going to be redone. The way you present yourself to the world, the things that you say, the things that interest you, and the things you talk about, right? So you don't be surprised as you shift and change. If you have a website, that will be changing for you as well. So changing your long-term visions and rebranding yourself. So you are the dreamer, Sagittarius. You are the free-spirited one. So go really bold with this. Go really big. Like, what do you want your website to look like, or your presence in the world? Even if you don't have anything to model it from, lean into that space and just see what comes up for you. So again, as a free-spirited, right, you are the adventurer, you are the philosophical one, you're the one with as few boundaries as possible, of any. So you may be drawn to join with people who are like other dreamers, and dreamers who are doers. They take their dreams and put them into action. So this is all about Sagittarius, and we'll see what the cards say. Changing your vision. Begin and having new collaborations. That means new people coming in to your inner circle. And remember though, Sagittarius, stay curious. This stuff is not always easy, especially when you have a vision. And Sagittarians, we can get really, really stubborn in that. You have a vision and all of a sudden it changes. Remember to have fun though. It's a journey, right? Not a destination. Let's start. The Wild Unknown Archetypes. And I do have the book because I don't need these cards very well. And they all have Roman numerals on them. So, yeah, so let's see, Sagittarius. We will pull 3 cards from this. I wanted to pull 2, but 3 have been coming out. So we will do 3 for you. And this is, if you don't have these cards, this is a very interesting deck of cards for sure. A little trouble shuffling. This is a very interesting deck. But let's see what the Wild Unknown Archetypes hold for our Sagittarius friends. As we come into Gemini season, maybe finding a little more balance, a little more stability, and maybe that's where your vision can start to shift and focus. Let's see, let's pull one more for Sagittarius. Pull one right out of the middle. Okay, Sagittarius, you have, let's see, The Mentor, card number 6. When I get to the meanings of this, just look at that though. The Mentor. The Poet, card 6 and 7. Very interesting. So just look at the fact that there's a sequence that just happened in the first 2 cards. And the Pilgrim card, oh wait, there's 2 cards here. Okay, the Pilgrim, card 20. And then you have one more. Oh my gosh. The Mystic, card 21. Now, I said 3 cards. These cards stuck together. You have a 6 and 7, and then a 20 and 21. So I'm going to say, I'm going to get to the meanings of these cards, Sagittarius. I'm going to say that you start one thing and then you take the next step, and that settles for a little bit. But it looks like there's a quantum leap or a big shift or big change from one section to the next. Let's get into this though. So the Mentor. And let me see. And the Mentor is the part of the book. This book is broken down into phases. It's broken, this is the part of the self, the selves, or the self. So all about you. So in tarot, the first 2 cards are in the major arcana are all about you, right? The Fool and the Magician, they are literally just all about you. Interesting. So you have the Mentor. And again, if owls mean something to you, or just notice if you see owls, if the number 6 means something to you, just make a mental note of that. So the Mentor, the teacher, the sage, the guru. And this is, I'm just going to show you. But a lot of the messages are like across the top, then they go around the side and the bottom, and then the other side. So you'll see me flipping the book around. I'm not going to read the whole thing in the middle. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto the expressions, onto another. The expressions feet of clay and cult of personality exist for a reason. I've never heard of those. And this is, although it's typically true that parents are our initial teachers, the child will eventually seek a mentor figure outside of the home to assist in their growth. And when the mentor is in its light, it is focused, clear, bright, and always remains a student. It's funny because as a yoga teacher, I tell my students all the time, I am the teacher, but I'm always forever a student as well. And I don't know this cult of personality or feet of clay. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to look that up. It is said, I'm going to read a little more of this because I'm now interested. So this is either you are becoming the mentor, the teacher, the sage, the guru, the wise one, or you are seeking this for yourself, or both, right? In order to move on to your next level, right? In order to evolve to the next phase of life for you, you teach what you've already learned, and then you call in your own guru or guide to help you to move to the next phase. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. So let's do that again. The mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Sounds like a spiritual growth to me. We'll go on to the poet. And this is a night sky, right? With the owl flying and a little bit of fire energy there. So that's fire energy would be you. The poet is like a rainbow sky, a slightly darker figure holding on to a globe form. So let's see what the poet says. The artist, the witness, the truth teller. That's very interesting, Sagittarius, because you are the seeker of the truth. Sorry, a message just popped up on my screen. You are the seeker of the truth, and the poet is the truth teller. It is likely there is a poem or poet that was meaningful to you at a young age. Revisit and reread it now. Be open to its message. So lean into some poetry. The poet is related to the shaman and the bridge. These archetypes hover in the meeting place between the everyday and the sacred. So the portals between the human space and the ethereal space. And when the poet is in its light, it is clairvoyant, wise, and timeless. Wise and timeless. The wise sage. I think this is going to be a very spiritual reading, Sagittarius. Okay, the Pilgrim. Card number 20. Very interesting. Very interesting. Here we go. So that was about the selves in the chapter of the selves. And this is, let me get to it. And the chapter of I guess it's still part of the self. It's still in that same section of the book. Okay, so the Pilgrim is the wanderer, the traveler, the apprentice. Okay, Sagittarius, I mean, really. So you know what I'm saying, right? You're the wanderer. You love to travel. Even in the stillness of meditation, the pilgrim feels the movement of the heart towards what it loves. We all have a deep, longing to answer the call, to get unstuck. What are the obstacles between you and the door? Very mystical reading, Sagittarius. Very mystical reading. And when I pulled for, I think it was Gemini, I did read Gemini yesterday, and there was something about like what is the truth behind the desire? Like what is the thing behind the desire? What is the ultimate truth? And then you have on here, when the pilgrim is in its light, when it is illuminated, it learns, it grows, it adapts, it studies. This is very interesting. And the mystic. And the mystic is the seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. Do you see a theme here, Sagittarius? Do you see the theme? Like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. And the very first element in here is fire, right? And you have looks like the fire butterfly. This begins by awakening the inner flame or the tapas within. The tapas is something that we learn, and I'm not going to go into it now, but we learn about in our yoga teacher training. It's amazing how these things all come together. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. So let me read that again, because obviously I'm having trouble speaking today. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. So I'm going to say this now, Sagittarius, before we get to your tarot. Do not underestimate the power and the strength that you have. The way you live your life in this world and how it resonates and how it is reflected outward. And when the mystic is in its light, it is the remover of darkness. It is the visionary. It is ageless. Sagittarius, do you see this? My fellow Saggies, if you want to get on the books for a reading, this is going to be a very mystical, spiritual time for you. I would say if you want to read with me, I'm going to be running a Solstice Special for, you'll get a 3-month reading. I think it's going to be very helpful. Let's pull out your Moonology deck. I almost feel like that was nearly a full reading, Sagittarius. A very full reading. But let's pull out your Moonology deck. Let's not stop, right? Let's keep going because we are the seekers, right? We're leaning into truth. We're excavating. Okay, 2 cards came out. We'll take them. New Moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. I mean, really. Could this message be any more clear, Sagittarius? Can it be any more clear? And Virgo got this yesterday. Full moon in Leo. Go wild. Yes, you are the centaur, right? You're the Sagittarius. You are completely unbridled. Go full on, Saggy. Let's pull your tarot cards. I'm going to pull 7 cards, and then we'll also have a card on the root of the deck, and that will be your reading. So, what does the tarot hold for Sagittarius during this Gemini season as they go wild, right? As they attune to the divine, which is within you, as they become the mystic, the pilgrim, right? The mentor and the poet. And how can Sagittarius use these gifts and these inquisitives in the world? Let's see what the tarot holds, Saggy. I love this. I love when all these things just kind of make their way. Knight of Cups. All right, that's the only one face up so far, Saggy. Okay, Sagittarius, on the root of the deck, Ace of Swords. Learning something new or a new discovery or a new vision, right? I think your thing said having a new long-term vision, right? And you have on the root of the deck, the root of your reading is Ace of Swords. Having a new vision, learning something new. Her eyes are closed. She's trusting that inner space. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness. Let me get myself together here. 3 of Swords. The Sun. So there's healing to be done. The Sun. Page of Wands. 4 of Swords. 10 of Wands. The Star. So you have 2 major arcanas. Okay, so let's get into it. A new way of seeing. I don't think this is a new way of seeing the world, Sagittarius. I get the feeling this is a new way of seeing yourself in the world, if that's making any sense. So it's about healing the past mistakes that you've made. For some of you, you realize that you have had this calling for a more spiritual lifestyle. And I don't mean living in a very holy way. I mean, you've been called to talk about your beliefs, and you haven't been doing that. And there's some of you feel like you have disappointed source. And this is really coming in strong. You're starting to heal that place of yours that maybe you weren't tuning into. Because here we go. You have the Sun. It's illuminating everything. It's like full moon in Leo, right? Like, go wild. Go wild. The path is open for you. There's like there are no boundaries as you, right? There are no boundaries. The Page of Wands is you getting excited, getting curious about this new vision you have of yourself in this world. Take moments though. Take a break. Sit with your heart. Sit with the brokenness and let it heal. right? This is not a race, Sagittarius. This is a very slow moving progression. Although this is a reading for Gemini season, this is when it starts for you. This will culminate at the end of the year. It's going to be about a 6-month journey. So sit with it and let your heart tell you what you need to do to heal it. And part of it is that you've had a lot of distractions. Either life has distracted you, or you have allowed yourself to be distracted. And I feel like, although it's not here, I feel like there may have been some fear of actually seeing yourself in the world as the way you're supposed to be. Does that make sense, Sagittarius? I feel like there's been a lot of distractions, or you have distracted yourself from your purpose or from your journey. But then we have the Knight of Cups. This could be a relationship, or this could be new collaborations coming in from people who are on the same path, who have been where you are. This could be, right, this could be your mentor as you become the teacher and the sage of what you have learned about yourself and life so far. Because, right, we go through trials and we go through life and we go through difficulties for our own evolution, but then to share our experiences so then others can learn. So then we become the teacher. And in the process of figuring out, like, why did we let ourselves take on so much? Or why did we let ourselves get distracted? Or how to heal the heart? Then we find that community, that collaboration with people who have been there. And then they start to guide you in the way. The star, Aquarius energy. But this is hope. This is direct. This says attuned to the divine. This is a direct, like, you have a direct line to the divine. And some Sagittarians have a much deeper connection than they know, and much deeper connection than other signs. All signs have their abilities. Scorpio is probably the most psychic. That does not necessarily mean their connection to God's source divine, or that understanding. That means that they can perceive things before it happens, or they can tune into spirits that have passed on to the other side, which we call here mediumship. It's still part of the same psychic ability. You have the sun and the star. Sun, daylight, stars, nighttime, balancing energy. We're doing this reading for Gemini season. Gemini season will take us to the summer solstice. Probably big shifts around that changeover. Day and night, they both need to exist. They both harness the energy of both. One illuminates the path outwardly. The other one illuminates the inward path. Wow. That makes sense, Sagittarius? Let me know. I need an exhale on that. We'll pull your animal spirit card and see what is here. Sagittarius, I love this for you. I'm a Saggy. I'm loving it for me. All of the readings so far have for Gemini season have been very spiritually guided. Have been very spiritually guided. So let's see. And if you hear things on my computer, it's because messages are coming up. The Loon, intuitive. Goodness. I can't make this up. I mean, really. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Did I not just say you've been busy and distracted? Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Here is, I'm just going to hold this here for a moment. Sagittarius, I don't know if I've ever lately had such a clear, direct reading. It's as though, like, everything is just dumped right in front of you. All you have to do is pick it up. This is why I do what I do. I love what I do. And you should love what you do, right? Let's see what your angel card is to, close out your reading for Gemini season. Everything is aligning, Sagittarius. Everything is aligning. Oceana. Take action. You are in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So trust. And although it's an underwater scene, it does look like they are stars in the sky. Just like there are stars in the sky for the mentor. Just like there are stars in the sky for the star. These cards actually have a very similar vibe. Oceana. So maybe spend some time near the ocean, near water. Take action, Sagittarius, though. You are an action taker anyway. You are a fire sign. You are the last fire sign. You are half horse, half human. I would say half man because that's how it's depicted. But half horse, half human. Lean into that. Take action, Sagittarius. This is your absolute time to shine. Again, this reading could not get any clearer. The message could not have been any more direct. But if you want to schedule a reading for your personal situation, if there's still something you're not getting or there's a hurdle, right, that you don't know how to heal or get past, I'm running a special for the summer solstice. 45-minute reading for $99. I will put the information in here. I will put it out on the interwebs or whatever, Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, let's get you on your way, Sagittarius. You are boundless. Nothing is holding you back. The past is done. You're healing all the past. And you're no longer allowing yourself to be distracted. You are coming back to your free-spirited self. And your community will find you. Sagittarius, thank you so much for watching. If you got anything out of this, please like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, share it with another fellow lady Sagittarius. Until next time, always I send you light and love. Have a great Gemini season, everyone.